Hi, it's Catherine from family-owned Outabounds Ski and Board, welcoming Eli Leeson of Salomon Snowboards to teach us the tech and design we're excited to see in this year's lineup.
My name's Eli, if you don't know me by now. I work with Salomon, starting with the Assassin. This is our most versatile board, the Quiver Killer, the one board to rule them all. In Colorado, we're very unique in that we get every condition: rain, ice, snow, pipe, park, pow, everything. And this is the board you can toss in the back of your car and forget about all your... What rock out camber is flat between the feet, camber just underneath the feet, and rocker at the nose and tail. To simplify it, I like to just say it's camber between the feet and rocker at the nose and tail. What this flat section does is it gives you more stability and better edge contact for the snow. So a more stable feeling between the feet with camber underneath the feet that give you better edge hold and better turns, more pop. Rocker at the nose and tail, better float in deeper snow, and keeps this board nice and forgiving when it's flat base. Sound good? Sweet. So a camera profile, it does it all, and then we'll talk about side cut briefly because side cut's boring. And no one ever really asks about side cut, but explaining it to you guys just lets you know how the board rides and why it's so versatile. This is called quadralizer. And what quadralizer is it's a progressive side cut that's broken up into three sections. So you'll have a long radius between the feet, and then you'll have tight radii out toward your contact points, but it's broken up with radial lines at the feet. The reason we break it up is to give you better edge pressure distribution. When you have one continuous curve, sometimes it can be hard to get pressure out between the feet or out towards the contact point, kind of farther away from the feet. So we break it up better distribution of edge pressure, so better turns, more stability. Mellow curve in between the feet is good for long arcing turns at higher speeds, and then tight radii out here. Make it so you can get in and out of your turns faster and keep this board nice and nimble at low speeds. So low speed, high speed, anything you're doing, side cut's gonna perform. Camber profile does it all. And this is also a directional twin. It's upside down, but that doesn't matter. Directional twin, everyone does that a little bit differently. What we do is we just add an extra centimeter of material just at the nose. That's gonna give you better float in deeper snow. Between your contact points where it matters when you're riding on hardpack, this is still a true twin. So when you're on groomers, you're on hardpack, it's gonna ride like a true twin. You get in some deeper snow, that extra centimeter activates. You get better flow. Construction of the board, you'll have a bamboo veneer top sheet, which is very lightweight and very snappy. It's also an eco-friendly material because it grows super, super fast. But keeping this board nice and mid-flexing, we add that bamboo so it makes it more reactive underfoot, makes it feel more lively, sporty, and snappy. You get basalt stringers in the nose and tail that are gonna keep this thing nice and stable at higher speeds and also give it some snap and better energy transfer. Sweet. Then we'll have the Wonder. This is a ladies board. This is pretty similar to Assassin because we updated Assassin last year. When we do that, the Wonder on the ladies side and the Craft on the men's side take over their old mold. So this board will have rock out camber, quadralizer side cut, extra centimeter material at the nose, making it a directional twin. Big difference here is you don't get the bamboo and you don't get basalt stringers in the nose and tail, but you get them running from nose to tail all the way down the board. That keeps this board nice and forgiving torsionally from edge to edge. So when you're on your heel side, it doesn't want to bite and go forward, nice and surfy going this way. But then from nose to tail, this thing is very, very stable at high speeds, nice and damp. You will also get cork underneath the feet for dampening. This is a recycled cork from wineries in France. It's a 2014 Merlot right there. So very damp, very eco-friendly, and great for sommeliers around the world. The way cork works is the more vibrations it receives, the more efficient it becomes at dampening those vibrations. It's a nice smooth ride underfoot. Just a very, very versatile board for the ladies. Where you're selling the men the Assassin, you're selling ladies this Wonder. The one board to do everything. Next we'll have the Sleepwalker. Sticking with that rock out camber here, but we change your side cut to what we call EQ rad. So instead of that progressive quadratic curve, you're getting three straight lines blended with those radial lines between the feet. What that does is it's just giving you something a little bit more forgiving, a little bit easier to get on, and also you have two lines in between the feet that make this thing really good and hold a straight line on approach to rails or jumps because this is a freestyle board. Still really good for beginners because it is a softer flex. You will get rubber dampening underneath the feet, and you'll get our Aspen strong coils. So this thing's gonna hold a really good straight line on approach. You get a ton of pop from that Aspen strong core. It also makes the board a little bit more durable in the streets. But with it being a more approachable flex, really good for beginners, first-time board buyers, and things of that nature. True twin here, so you don't get that extra submarine material at the nose. Very, very easy to ride switch or regular. Great for someone who wants something more forgiving. Maybe they're getting in the park, or maybe they're just starting out and they want something that's easy to ride. Then you'll have Oh Yeah on the ladies' side, and you'll have Kickback on the men's side. These are going to be same camber profile and side cut as Sleepwalker, but they're 15% softer. So a lot more forgiving, great for those beginners, or great for someone who's maybe just getting into the park, starting to learn. They just want something that's super, super playful. You'll go Oh Yeah, or you'll go Kickback. Big difference, this does not have Aspen strong core. It still has rubber dampening underneath the feet, but you get an extruded base here. Lotus for women and Pulse for men. These will have what we call flat out camber. So it's a more forgiving camber profile. It's flat between the feet, camber underneath the feet, and flat at the nose and tail. I mean, this thing has a ton of contact with the snow when your weight's on it. Very stable, very forgiving, very, very predictable. These will have factory detuned edges, so they're ready to take out the wrapper and rip, and that makes them a little bit more forgiving as well. Great beginner boards. Next, we'll get into more of the free ride boards, starting with Dancehall. Dancehall is what we call volume shift. So we're taking the volume, we're shifting the volume from the nose and tail out to the width. We're building it wider so you can ride it shorter. Size down 5 to 7 centimeters on this thing. When we're volume shifting the board and making it wider, it means you're getting a more nimble snowboard with the same surface area and float. And stability is something much bigger. Does that make sense? The perfect customer for this board is one who comes in and says, I love riding in the trees, but my board's too big and cumbersome to actually turn. Put them on a Dancehall. It's the perfect board. This will be built on rock out camber, but you get a radial side cut here, which makes turning on this thing super easy and a lot of fun. Radial is a piece of a perfect circle, so it's predictable going this way and this way. This board rides switch. This board rides switch well. If you think of a volume shift board, I think of a twin tip board with the tail chopped off. Between your contact points, again, where it matters when you're riding on hard pack, you set it on the reference points. This is a true twin with a little bit of taper. So 10 millimeters wider in the tail, giving this thing a ton of float. And it will have those basalt stringers running from nose to tail, similar to the Wonder. Again, keeping this thing nice and surfy, torsionally from here to here, heel to toe, but very, very stable and damp from nose to tail on this medium flexing board. But truly a great board for everything. This is meant to make the same run you do every single day a whole new run that's way more fun. It's just built to be the most fun board no matter where you are on the mountain. Turning, riding POW, even getting in the park, you're gonna have a great time with the Dancehall. Next we'll do a high path. This is gonna be kind of an all-mountain free ride board. This is our steward of sustainability. This is the most eco-friendly board in the entire lineup, specifically this iteration of it. This is again going to be built on a rock out camber. Surprised? No. Different side cut though. True quadratic side cut. So instead of breaking it up, it's one continuous curve, making this thing very responsive when you lay it on edge. It's also very versatile. It can handle any kind of terrain at any speed. 3 mils of taper, so better float and deeper snow. And then your 20 millimeters set back, putting your weight at the back foot, giving you more power for turning, and again, better float. That's how we ride powder, right? On the back foot. So we set it back, makes it a lot easier. Your leg is not gonna be killing you after a day riding POW on this board. This will have your Polonia core, so it's a little bit lighter weight and snappier. This is also going to be a little bit more playful of a free ride board. A lot of times you'll have someone coming in, they're like, I need a free ride board, I ride a lot of POW, I ride a lot of steeper stuff, but they're not always looking for the stiffest board on the wall. So this is nice and playful, easy to ride anywhere. And last but not least, we'll have Sickstick. This has been in line for 17 years. This is going to be a tapered twin built on rock out camber once again. You'll have quadrilaser side cuts, similar side cut to the Assassin and the Wonder. just a little bit tweaked out, so this is going to ride better at POW. So we tweaked the side cut a little bit to make this most efficient in POW. And for free riding, it's nice and soft and surfy between the feet, but with a stiffer nose and tail on this iteration, so you get better float in deeper snow, but it's still very, very surfy. You have a ton of foot steering ability on this thing. You get 10 mils of taper. Similar to Dancehall, when you set it up on the reference points, it's a twin. It's a very easy to ride switch. If you got someone coming in here who loves to ride the whole mountain, they're just looking for something shaped and fun, but still easy to ride switch.